Hello my lovely angels, this is your girl Sim back with another episode of the Sim Squad. Hi! So yes, I got really sick again. They say good news comes in three, so does bad news. And so first I got my fibromyalgia flare and everything. And then I got my days, and if you know fibromyalgia, like if you get your days during that time, it's like. And then I contracted an upper respiratory infection. Not bronchitis, the other one. And I'm still recovering from it, which is why I couldn't film at all because I couldn't speak. I could barely get words out of my mouth without coughing. Frankly speaking, it was very exhausting because I was coughing so much that it made me tired. I was just exhausted all the time. Plus, I had like a runny nose. Let me not be too graphic, but I literally had to put two tissue papers in my nose because it was like a waterfall. And that just made everything so difficult. I had to take days off from work. And despite of taking days off from work, I couldn't film at all because there was no way I was getting out of bed. But now I'm hopefully done. My earring had fallen off. My earring had fallen off and I didn't even realize. It was yeah, so my brain power is again a little bit so just bear with me. On the bright side, I got sent a few perfumes. Actually, one I have purchased impulsively, and there are 4 which I have received. Let me start off with something. I think everybody is a little too film it. So it's from Paris Corner. It's from their new range called Minya, and that's the box. So they have 2. They have Minya, and then they have Minya Coco Lush. That's the box. And the bottles are quite heavy and I kind of like them. It's a little tacky, the top portion. It's very plasticky and everything. But otherwise, the bottle is amazing. And thank you for whoever had told me about them because I actually ordered it and then Paris Corner reimbursed me and they've put me on their PR list, which is amazing. So I'm very thankful that actually Paris Corner also got on board, and now I'll be getting a lot more perfumes from Paris Corner to review for you guys. Yeah. So today I have Minya and Minya Coco Lush. Minya is supposed to be a dupe for Cheriosa 62, which you guys know is a mist that I like a lot. Look, my samples box, it's overflowing. I have so many of them and I really need to reorganize them. So I have Cheriosa 62 and there's Marcus's hair everywhere. So I have Cheriosa 62. I already had a small bottle and I finished it pretty quickly, obviously, because it's a mist and you really need to go heavy-handed with mists. And I'm very glad I saved it a little bit so that, now it's coming in handy. So Cheriosa 62 was again your pistachio and salted caramel perfume, which is clearly written on the bottle. So I'm going to spray the Cheriosa on this side and I'm going to do the Minya. Oh my god, the moment you spray Cheriosa 62, you just want to douse yourself in it. And it's the same with Minya, by the way. So the core difference is Minya just has a little bit of that artificial pistachio touch. That's it. Otherwise, it's literally the same perfume. Cheriosa 62 feels yummy from the get-go. Minya, it takes it a little bit time. It has a little artificial note. And the artificial note is not just from the pistachio, it is also from the almond. So, you know how you feel in some perfumes the tonka perfumes, the sugar food tonka. You get that tonka note and almond note. A little bit of that exists in this, a little prominently, compared to your Cheriosa 62. Now, that's the only difference. So let me just move away from Cheriosa 62 and let me just tell you exactly what Minya is. Let's get one thing out of the way. Both of these will require a little bit of maceration, right? So if you're purchasing them, they cost only $30 over here in the UAE. It will definitely require some time to macerate because right now, the longevity of this perfume is not that much. Projection, think of it as exactly how Cheriosa 62 was, right? So it's 1 to 2 feet. Guys, sorry, I'm going to be coughing in between a little bit because I just can't help it, my lungs have not recovered completely yet. The top notes for Minya are pistachio and almond. Heart notes of jasmine, heliotrope, and cashmere, and the base notes of sandalwood, vanilla, and salted caramel. What I smell mostly is like the opening is so strongly pistachio and almond. It's unmistakable. You can clearly smell them equally, not just like you are like, is this more dominant on pistachio or almond? Doesn't smell like hair pistachio at all, or like yum pistachio, or any of the Khadlaj Strass or Johanna. None of those. This is very much like, it's a different category altogether. This is your Cheriosa 62, which was more of a vanilla caramel pistachio, nutty caramel vanilla. And the salted caramel is nice because it's salted caramel. It's not just caramel, it's not sticky and heavy and everything. And then you have your middle notes of jasmine, heliotrope, and a little bit of that warm, cozy cashmere, which just makes it smell like a blanket of beautiful perfume that will make you feel all fuzzy and nice. I will tell you one thing, like I do feel like this perfume and even Cheriosa, I would feel like wearing this like when I'm dressed up in like a fuzzy PJ or like a fuzzy onesie or something. Okay, I don't wear fuzzy onesies anymore. Just saying, if you would, in like cold weather, when it's fall, winter, when you want to be cozy, when you want to feel cozy. It's a girly perfume as well. It's a gourmand, but it's like a girly gourmand. It's youthful, but not juvenile at all. Like I don't know how much I've sprayed this, but then of course, because it's not macerated, I'm going heavy handed. But I used this like so much, right? Over the last few days that they sent it to me. And before I forget, guys, if you have not already tried it, you need to try, if you have Cheriosa, try Cheriosa with any of the dupes of Baccarat 540. And if you have Minya, try any of the dupes. So I actually used to layer this one with Untold, CD and Untold. You know, CD and Untold is like my favorite BR540. Actually, you know what? Recently, Khadlaj also reformulated the Bold, Lee Prestige Bold. That's, oh, you can't see it. It's the red one, right? Lee Prestige Bold. That's also like a Baccarat 540. Slightly like a little deviant from the original DNA, but that'll also go really well with this one. So I know it's like a very weird combination to try, but just try it. Hear me out and just try it. You'll thank me later. You can use Minya on its own, or you can use it for layering. In the base, you have your salted caramel. Your cashmere gets a little bit more warm. And then you have your vanilla and your sandalwood. Very cozy perfume. If you're looking for something that makes you just feel good, it's a feel-good perfume. You wear this, you'll just feel happy and nice. There's nothing like very complicated about it. I know it's a complicated perfume because I remember when Cheriosa was released, none of us could understand the notes. We were like, how, But it just works, right? It's amazing. So I'm happy I have like an alternative. It's only $30, which is insane. I'm sure it'll not be $30 in your country. Unless you're in UAE, $30, make use of that, it's really good. Currently, it's projecting like 2 feet, but the longevity is very poor. It's like 5 to 6 hours. It'll get better. As with all the Paris Corner perfumes, I know I owe you a few maceration updates. I'll do it soon, but I just have like a few hauls and a few PRs to get through. There is no Middle Eastern vibe at all in this, and I'm going to rate this a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. Like I'm borderline obsessing over this because you guys know I love Cheriosa 62. So this one is like hands down. If you like Cheriosa 62, if you like Sol de Janeiro, even 71 or anything, go for this one. And the celebrity, it's odd, but Laura Harrier, I don't know if you remember her or not, but if she played Catwoman, I know it's not making sense, but when you'll smell the perfume, you'll know. Just imagine her in the cat suit and then think of her smelling like this. I know this is such a not Catwoman, because when you say Catwoman, you automatically think it'll be like a BDSM kind of perfume. But I don't know why I thought if it was like her and if she was Catwoman, she would smell like this. Guys, I'm going to try and do a color association as well with the perfume so that you do feel like a visual as well, like not just the celebrity, but like a visual for it as well. This would be like a warm brown color. Like I will put the color along with the celebrity for you from now onwards, because I think a color association will be also helpful to just fathom how the perfume actually, what kind of visual it invokes in me, Next, we have Coco Lush. Now, I'll tell you something that I actually thought that this would be the dupe for Cheriosa 62 just because of the color, the taupe color. But I guess what they were going for was a pistachio, So you have the same bottle as Coco Lush is a dupe for Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. And I remember, like, I was not very fond of Thank You Next because it had this dill pickle juice, some kind of weird green note in it, more like pickle juice. And it's there in this one too. But I remember the dry down of the Thank You Next was beautiful. In the air, if you smell it, like whiffs of it in the air, it smells gorgeous. But the moment you stick your nose to it, it was like terrible. And it's the same with Minya Coco Lush. If you smell it straight up from the blotter or on your skin, by the way, on my skin, it is not reacting too well. So I'm assuming that this might be also the skin chemistry thing, because I know this picklish smell also happens because of some skin chemistry. And I guess with mine, it's not doing too well. So I spray this on my clothes. Every time I sprayed it on my skin, I was not very happy about it. So I had to, like, stop doing that. And I tried it like time and again because I really wanted to be accurate with the review for this one, because I know this is a very anticipated line from Paris Corner. And they have given us a little teaser about Ministry of Gourmand. I thought that was brilliant, Ministry of Gourmand, like, so cool. But at the same time, like, I really do want to know what is that all about, Is it going to be a line of perfumes or not sure? Anyhow, the notes for this. So while Minya was a gourmand, this would be a tropical scent. Coco Lush is your tropical scent. The top notes are coconut milk, raspberry and pear. Heart notes of jasmine and freesia, and your base notes of ambroxan, macaroon, and your musk. Now, initially the opening, so you have your coconut milk for sure. It's like, you can smell it. But then it has that sharp, very, very sharp green note, which smells like pickle juice. Now, I don't know if I guess it is because of raspberry and pear, but I honestly do not know where that dill smell or that pickle smell comes in, right? So that might be a little bit of a turn off for a few people. The thing is that it'll stay till the end. It's not going to disappear. It's not going to go away. I don't know if after maceration it's going to change or not, but I know Thank You Next did not. And if this is like duping Thank You Next, then in the air, it's beautiful. It's so, so beautiful. Like, obviously, obviously when you are spraying the perfume, you're not going to stick your nose to yourself or your clothes or anything. And yes, while the initial spray, you will feel a little overwhelmed with that picklish smell. You'll get used to it, and it kind of like disappears as well. Like, your brain kind of gets used to it. But it's kind of the same greenness I also get. Okay, so this is, again, I'm bringing like a very controversial thing. But Imperial, CDN Imperial, the Club de Nuit Imperial, which was supposed to be a dupe for Delina, and I was getting this weird greenness in it, and not everybody was getting it. Like, most of the people, as a matter of fact, 65% of the people thought it was like bang on dupe for Delina. But there were 35% of people, including myself, who thought it smelled like, it had like this strange, weird greenness, sharpness, It's the same sharpness. The more it dries down, the more I can feel. I was actually confused that does this have rhubarb in it? Because I normally, rhubarb translates that way in many perfumes for me. Not all, but many, many perfumes. Anyhow, in the air, it's a beautiful tropical, fruity, floral, coconut milk scent. Now, while this is not something I will gravitate towards right now, I will keep like using it, spraying it once in a while at home. I might spray it like, just to get it like macerated quicker. And I'll come back to you with this one, right? So jury's still out for this one. Both of these are very feminine, by the way, if I did not mention that. Like, a guy can pull it off if you don't mind like smelling gourmand, or it is like a little girly smell, right? Like, one is your Cherryosa and one is your Thank You Next of Ariana. Like, what do you expect? Both are not Middle Eastern at all. This one, I would give it a rating of, I would give it a 7 out of 10 for now, because it is not a bad perfume. It's not like, oh my god, what am I smelling? It's disgusting. No. It's nice. In the air, it's quite nice. But it's just something, I have like a lot of like tropical fragrances. Especially like last year, not last year, this year. We're not in 25 yet. Let's not jump the gun, Simin. Calm down. But yeah, in 2024, we did have like a lot of tropical releases, right? And I know we are like past that genre of your alien goddess and your bronze goddess and all those goddess perfumes where it was all coconut milk and something else, white florals or whatever. And I kind of appreciate the fact that this is a little different from your regular tropical fragrances. But this does smell like something you would wear on a vacation or like on a beach day. You know, it's very tiki, the tiki puka puka, whatever it's called, tiki drinks. No, not tiki puka puka. What's tiki puka puka? And yeah, tiki drinks, you know, it's kind of like that kind of scent. The celebrity I want to give this to was Cara Delevingne. I don't have to really think much about it. I just thought it would be somebody who's a little quirky, a little youthful, who definitely likes the water. And the color, I would say, like the color they've given, I feel is not okay. Like this feels more warm and cozy. I would actually want to give it this color, the Tiffany or teal or whatever you call it. Let's give it teal because I do feel this would be somewhere near the sea. Although, you know, it's because I guess it's because of the coconut and everything, you know. So let's give it like a teal color for this one. The projection for this is 1 feet and the longevity is again the same, like 5 to 6 hours. So not really projecting. I'll get back to you guys with the updates for this one, yeah. Next we have something I purchased and it was the impulse buy. Because I liked liquid brune so much, so I was like, you know what? I should have got the merengue. I know, because this one smells like Scarlet Poppy, by the way. Did I tell you the name? No, I did not. Sweet Paradise by French Avenue. This was not sent to me. I purchased it myself. And I was very interested. I was like, okay, Scarlet Poppy. I'm not very fond of Scarlet Poppy. I know it's a very unpopular opinion, but it's a nice perfume, but it's just not something I gravitate towards. I will tell you one thing, the bottles are gorgeous. Look at this. It's so cute. Blush pink. And it does like smell so close to Scarlet Poppy. It's like in the air, you will not even make out the difference. No, I don't own Scarlet Poppy, nor do I have a sample for it. Also, by the way, this as a gift, it's brilliant because the box is like amazing. It has a stud on that. And then you have this bottle with also a stud. And then you have a stud on the cap, you know. Very pretty, very heavy, feels very nice, blush, suede, you know, a very beautiful, stunning bottle. Okay, I changed my mind. When I first sprayed this, I was not very fond of it. I actually was a bit overwhelmed. I was like, because it had this stale note. I call it a stale note. If I could actually like be very clear about the stale note that I talk about, it kind of smells like old books and an old library. And it's a little like claustrophobic, like, you know, like a claustrophobic old library. That's a stale note I talk about. But I wish I could be a little bit more clearer what I mean by that. But initially, I really got the strong note of that stale note. And I was like, oh gosh, no way. Because if I spray this on myself, I'm going to choke out, not going to feel good, going to get a headache, you know. But you know what? Now it's smelling so good. Okay, so... Okay, I have to change the entire review for this. It's already got a very high rating on Fragrantica. It's got 4.67. It's a musky floral. The top notes for this are ambrette, mandarin and musk. Middle notes are peach, peony and orris, and the base notes of tonka, heliotrope and barley. It's very close to Scarlet Poppy now, by the way. In the beginning, I was like, yeah, it does smell similar in the air, but not really on point. But now it is very much going there. So see, this is the importance, guys, with a Middle Eastern perfume. I used it twice before and it wasn't smelling like this, okay? It was, I'm not kidding you, it's changed like 35%. It's insane. 35% of the perfume has changed and it's become a completely different perfume. And I don't regret not buying meringue anymore. I will ultimately get that, but for now, I'm happy with this Sweet Paradise. How does it smell like? It smells vintage, floral, musky. You have very powdery notes as well, but it has something edible about it as well. It's so weird, like you are smelling vintage, powdery, musky, and then it's like a little bit edible. But edible as in like a plant-based edible. I should stop saying the word edible, I might get like blocked, you know. Anyhow, it's also kind of milky. It's very strange. It's like, I don't know what they mean by Scarlet Poppy. Poppy is a flower, right? But then there's no... Oh, Poppy is... okay, I got it. Okay. Anyways, Scarlet Poppy, if you remember the bottle and everything, the color, I would give it that color, not this blush color, by the way. It does smell a little bit more bold compared to this color. It doesn't smell like this color. while it is vintage, while it's classic, while it is very, I'll tell you which celebrity I'm going to give this to. I'm going to give this to Marilyn Monroe. Nobody else comes to mind because I would assume like actresses during that time, especially like bombshells like her, they would smell like this. Like Chanel number 5, that was one perfume which I always say, Marilyn Monroe. So is this one. It's pretty, like it's the prettiest kind of floral. It's like difficult to put it into words. But just think of these florals like peony and orris. They're quite powdery, they're very pink, you know. But at the same time, it has musk in the opening note, not in the base, right? So from the beginning, it's very warm, creamy, musky, a little milky. Then you have also your amberette in the opening. It's a very strange note composition. Now, mandarin, like, I don't know, it's adding something, but it's not really like a citrus opening at all. From the beginning till the end, you do feel this like powdery vintage makeup kind of scent. It does not smell like anything from Narciso, if you're wondering, you know, no. But I would have probably mistaken this as a Narciso perfume. The only difference between this and the Narciso perfume is that the musk of Narciso is a very peculiar one. If you smell a Narciso perfume, you just know it's by Narciso Rodriguez, right? The musk is very, very, it's like it's their own, you know, it's like their signature musk, right? The musk in this is a little different. It's more milky as opposed to being powdery. And then you have your heliotrope, barley and tonka in the base, which is adding like a lot of depth. But at the same time, it is not a warm perfume. It is a little bit arrogant. So I like the fact that it's like a vintage perfume, but done in a modern way. It does remind me of like Marilyn Monroe, like old Hollywood, satin, like white or cream satin dress, but with red lipstick. It's giving me that image, you know. So I guess because of that red lipstick, you know, that scarlet, the color scarlet is coming to mind and not this blush pink color, which is why the color association, I'm giving it that particular color, scarlet. I like it so much. Like in the beginning, I had given it a 7.5 out of 10. I liked it, but that stale note was bothering me. But you know what? I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Like this is something I'll probably be wearing this today. You know, I really like it. It's strangely like changed my mind. By the way, this retails for $42 over here. That's how much I got it for. It was slightly discounted and I got it from Amazon. But French Avenue does sell on Amazon. So now I have 2 more perfumes to go. And this is from Khadlaj. I'm sure you guys have been seeing this like everywhere. It's the Fursan. Fursan is a milky coconut gourmand perfume. It's a coconut vanilla. To describe it in the most simplistic way, it's your coconut vanilla. Very simple, slightly milky, slightly powdery. Now this again, I love I don't know if you can see it or not. It's beautiful. The atomizer. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this again is soft, creamy, milky coconut vanilla. It almost smells like a frothy vanilla, something like a drink, but the drink is cold. The top notes are bergamot and jasmine, middle notes of musk, coconut and almond, and the base notes of vanilla, cedarwood and nutmeg. Now, while I'm sure all these notes exist in this, bergamot is definitely something I don't smell at all in this. What I smell is like a clean, fresh jasmine, a cold, nice, sweet jasmine. That is followed by your musk, coconut and almond, but the coconut is not the artificial one. And in the base you have again vanilla, cedarwood and nutmeg. I feel also there's some kind of sandalwood in this because it's giving that creamy, like smooth, you know, that feeling. I don't know, there's nothing much I can say about this perfume. It's just like a beautiful coconutty vanilla. I can smell the nutmeg now. It's there in the end, you know. It's there like as a full stop in the end of the perfume. But it's so strange that it doesn't have any kind of lactones, but I can smell lactones in it. So it does smell slightly milky. What I can tell you is this does need maceration, which is unlike a Khadlaj perfume, you know, because Khadlaj perfumes normally they come macerated. This one does like require a little bit of maceration. So as of now, it's a beautiful scent, but I'll wear it like close to skin. So I would want to wear this like before sleeping or at home, but it's definitely not something I will wear to impress people because it's not going to project too much. It's not going to smell very extraordinary. If you're looking for a very basic lactonic creamy coconut vanilla with like mild florals and a little bit of musk in the end, Fursan is like, no, it's like you don't have to think too much about it. I feel this is going to be excellent for layering as well. If you want to give any perfumes that beachy, coconut, vanilla vibe, just add this. You can add this to florals, you can add this to fruity perfumes, you can add this even to woody perfumes, and it'll just become a little bit more milky, creamy, and this whole vacation vibe, you know. I think it's brilliant. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because I don't, if this was like projecting like crazy and if it was like a really strong perfume, this is right up my alley. It's the same like feeling I get from this one. It's very like cozy. You want to be like wrapped up in a blanket or wear like fuzzy clothes or fuzzy sweaters and stuff like that. While it does smell like a sweater weather perfume, I don't think you can restrict this to a season. I think you can wear this during summer as well, especially on beach days and stuff, because it's not very cloying. It does have a little bit of freshness thanks to your bergamot and jasmine, apparently bergamot, but it's doing something that's making it smell a little cold and fresh, you know, but not in a citrusy way. But that jasmine is the thing that's doing like a lot of magic. But if you're expecting a jasmine like alien, no, that's an indolic one, right? This is like the fresh jasmine. This is where I say the jasmine note started and then stopped, you know. It's just the opening part of it, the cold part of it. And it's jasmine that you're smelling during daytime and not at night. The color for this is hands down this color. It's the white coconut creamy color, you know. And the celebrity I thought of was Lupita Nyong'o because of her skin. I just feel her skin, like, I don't know, it would smell like this. It's so weird that people who have like really good skin, for some reason I always feel they smell gourmand, you know. The projection for this is unfortunately only 1 feet, and the longevity also is like 5 to 6 hours. It needs to sit and macerate for a bit. And last but not the least is Fursan's sister. It's also called Fursan for some reason, doesn't have any a label, but it's just that this is brown and this is white, so I guess we'll call this Fursan White and Fursan Brown. Fursan Brown is not for the girlies. By the way, I do like this bottle a lot, even the white one. You know, if you see it, it's like the reflective part, it's like gold streaks, but you can't really like just see it. Now Fursan Brown is the stark opposite of the Fursan White. It has Cade. Cade is the note that gives you that bonfire or fireplace kind of scent. It's very smoky, but not incense smoky. This is the actual smoke from the woods, you know. And it smells like tar and thick. This is the best way I can describe Cade to you. That it feels like a little bit tarish and then also very smoky. Usually if Cade is present in a perfume, I automatically assume it's a masculine fragrance because it can lean a little masculine. It can also give it a slight bit, I know I shouldn't say this because it doesn't make sense, but that tar, it does have a little bit of an animalic quality as well. When I first smelled this, I was convinced that it has some kind of oud in it, like a banyadi oud, but it does not. It is actually that Cade which is present in a, you don't need like a high concentration of Cade in a perfume for it to smell really, really strong, but this definitely has stronger concentration of Cade than any other perfumes that I've smelled with Cade in it. The top notes are bergamot and Cade, so it does start off like little citrusy, but that tarry, smoky Cade. And then you have your nutmeg and sandalwood in the middle. You do get that little spiciness from the nutmeg and also a little bit of bitter. And in the base notes, you have cedarwood, amber, and patchouli. Patchouli is like a dirty patchouli, so it's very, very earthy. It's very, smells like you picked up like dry ground, not even the wet earth. It's like the dry ground and you were smelling it. And then there's like a bonfire. But someone is wearing like an animalic perfume around the bonfire. It is beautiful. It's very impressive, intimidating. It's very dark, mysterious. Definitely smells like something you would wear at night. Definitely something that you would wear on an occasion. Or like in a suit event, you know, somewhere where you have to dress like formally for a man. I would never put this on myself, just letting you guys know. It's very, very, very masculine, right? The opening is so overwhelming that some people might get turned off. You need to wait, guys, with any perfume. I think you already know. I don't even know why I'm saying all this. But you just have to wait. Don't like judge the perfumes immediately. You need to spray it and walk around with the perfume. Whether it's on a strip, whether it's on your skin, whether it's on your clothes. Spray it, walk around to test it. Better if you can test it all day. So you know if you like the middle notes, the dry down and everything. But this one mellows down like quite a bit. And then you start feeling like its variability comes in, let's just say. Like initially it smells very, very like obnoxious, like a person who wants to smell good, but they don't care what other people think about them. Well, that kind of describes me. But yeah, I mean, like Ali smelt it and he told me it's nice, but he said I would wear it to the office annual gathering. Those were his words, like he wants to smell like impressive, like he wants to be like, I am something, that's where you wear perfume like this one. It's smoky, it's dark, it's mysterious. It's definitely something that you would wear in cooler climes and not in the summer. It'll kind of choke you. But I'll tell you something. If you wear this perfume, you'll be noticed. While this should not be classified as a Middle Eastern perfume, there's something in it that makes me feel like it is a little Middle Eastern leaning. So it's mildly Middle Eastern. The color is definitely this color. Like I'm surprised that they got the colors like absolutely right. This does smell like this color. This smells like Atari, Atari, Tari brown and gold for sure, because it smells poshy, expensive, rich man. And the celebrity I want to give this to is Leo Sutter. Yeah, the guy from Valhalla, Vikings Valhalla. Yeah, it's giving you a little bit of rawness as well, which is why I chose Leo Sutter, because it's like I hope his name is pronounced as Leo Sutter and not Suter or something, and I'm making a mess of his name. Anyhow, I'm sure there are a lot of fans of Leo Suter. So yeah, it does have this little raw, very masculine, animalic quality about it, which is why I gave it to him. Color, obviously, your Tari brown. It retails, both of these retail only for $25 over here in the UAE, which is like dirt cheap. And I'm sure when it comes elsewhere also, it's not going to cost you more than $35. Hopefully. The projection is like 4 to 5 feet and the longevity is 8+ hours. There's no doubt about it. It just stays and stays and stays. And my rating for this is an 8 out of 10, but for a man. That's it for today, guys. My lung capacity is like, every time I'm laughing, every time I'm trying to raise my voice and speak clearly or enunciate, I can't, because it's like I start coughing. So I apologize, if I'm breathing weird or if I'm being a little bit like irritating for the first time viewers. I think I grow on people, In the beginning, people probably don't like me and then it grows on you, I need to film back to back because I'm lagging behind like crazy. If you noticed, I just posted those reels, because that's the only thing I could do during that time that I was so low and so down. Just film like very basic reels, and I'm so happy you guys still liked it. I'm still getting views because, everybody tells me like you need to rest, Simin, when you're down and sick. After you work hard for 2 years to make something on YouTube, and then if you don't come online for not even couple of weeks, but if you skip, I release 2 videos a week. If I don't release those 2 videos a week, my rating goes down so much. My visibility is not there anymore. My earnings drop, which deviates me from my target of leaving my 9 to 5 job and doing this full time. So there's a lot of things involved, and it completely like stresses me out because I'm like, I'm not making the videos. And the thing is that when you're not physically capable, it's a very desperate feeling, I'm sure you understand like what I'm saying. But it's like you can't breathe. Like if I breathe, I'll cough. If I talk, I'll cough, Or before that, it was a fibromyalgia, which was so painful. Like you cannot move. You can't, I'm telling you guys, if you don't know what fibromyalgia is, just research it a bit. I feel horrible for all the followers who have messaged me they have it, or any kind of chronic illness or any kind of autoimmune diseases. It's not easy to manage it. So yeah, if you know somebody who goes through that, just try and give them cheers, like go, you can do it, Don't sympathize and don't be like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. No, like pump them up a little bit. Tell them, yes, you can go through this. You're a warrior, And this is what everybody was doing with me in the comments, So I really, really appreciate it. I keep saying this again and again, guys. If it was not for you guys, and I see, okay, I'm getting emotional. I see everybody who comments for the sake of my algorithm, for the sake of my algorithm. I see you. I see you. So thank you so much. And before I start, like, let me stop, because I am really, really, really thankful to you guys. That's all I can say. Let me stop, before I start going weird. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.